Hello friends, I am Parinita. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to receive regular notifications regarding computer science tutorials, important educational information and technical job updates.
Hello guys, welcome back to the series of Python programming. In our previous videos, we have already seen how to write conditions in Python. We have seen all the variations of if, like if else, elif, nested if. We have seen all those variations, how we can write conditions in Python. We have seen details about loops in Python. We have seen all the variations of while loop. We have seen all the variations of for loop. We have tried to understand what is break keyword, what is continue keyword, what is pass keyword. Fine, we have seen all those concepts earlier. Now in this video, what we are going to see is that what is array. So basically we will try to understand what is array, how we can write arrays in Python, how we can deal with arrays. We will see different operations that can be performed on arrays. Fine, so we will be seeing all those things in detail in this video. So before starting the video, let me tell you, if you are new here, if you are watching this series for the first time, let me tell you that we have started a series of Python in which we have already studied some very important concepts about Python. I have already given the link in the description. You can go and visit our previous tutorials so that it can be beneficial to you. And now line wise we are seeing all the important concepts of Python one by one. So let's start today's video in which we are going to see arrays in Python in detail. Okay, so the first thing is, the first question that comes to our mind is what is array? So if you are from programming background or computer science or IT background, you must be knowing what is array. So what is array? It is nothing but a data type or a data structure, you can say that, which can store multiple values. For example, if I am taking any normal value, let's say I equal to 5, anything like that. So this is what I is my integer variable that can store one integer value, that is 5. Fine. So in this case, what I am doing, I am storing the value 5 in my integer I. So I can store only one value, that is 5 in I. This is the case of simple integer. Similarly, if I am having any character, I can store only one character. If there is string, I can store like one string in that. But what is array? That in array I can store multiple values in a single variable. That means I will be having one variable of type array that can store n number of values like 2, 3, 5, 10, 100, 1000 of values you can store in a single variable using array. So this is what we are calling it as array. Got it? What is array? Now uh, we need to understand one thing, that if we talk about other programming languages like C, Java, any other languages, we are having array as a data type there. But if we talk about Python, so what is the case with Python? Python does not have inbuilt support for arrays. Fine. So this is one important point that you should know, that Python does not have in built-in support for arrays, but Python lists can be used as arrays. So in this video, what we are going to see about Python arrays is, actually what happens in Python, we are writing Python list. We have already seen what are list, set, tuple, everything in our previous videos, right? So how we are writing any list, we have already seen this thing, color. For example, color is a list I have taken, equal to, inside this square bracket in double quotes, I am writing the values of my list. So for example, let's take the value as blue. I can add multiple values, right? We already know this thing. Blue, black, pink, or whatever it is. Fine. So for example, these are the three values. So this, we already have studied this as list. Fine. So we know that this color is a list here, Python list, in which we can assign multiple values. So what happens in Python, there is no inbuilt support for arrays, but what we are doing is we can use this list as arrays. So in Python we will be seeing this thing as array, and we can do all the other operations in this list as we are doing in array. So if we talk basically what happens in Python we are dealing with list. We can deal with list as arrays only, because in this also we can store multiple values in the same variable. We can do all the operations like push, pop, like retrieving any value based on the index, removing any value, adding any new values. We can do all those operations of array in this also. Fine. So basically what is array? Array is nothing but a variable that can contain multiple values in the same time in the same variable, and we can do many operations on the values of the array. So let's see some of the very common examples or important operations that can be carried out on any array. So here let's consider this color is our array, and in that we are currently having three values: blue, black and pink. I can have any values, I can have many more number of values, but currently for simplicity let's take three values, that is blue, black and pink. Okay, fine. So now if I want to access any value, here we are having three values, but we can have 100, 200, 300 and number of values. And if we want to retrieve any specific value, how we can retrieve it? With the help of index. For example, I want to retrieve this value black. So how can I retrieve it? By writing color and index of, see, in array the index always starts from 0. So the index of this will be 0, the index of black will be 1, the index of pink will be 2. So if I want to retrieve this second value, so I have to write index of 1. So print color of 1. Let's see what it is giving us. As you can see, it is giving us black. So this is the basic thing that you should remember, that the index in the array always starts from 0. So here I am having three values. That means this value can be retrieved by color of 0, color of 1 and color of 2. Fine. So this is the first property that you should remember, that when we are declaring many values or multiple values in any array, we can retrieve them based on the index value. Fine. This is the first thing you should know. Then this is how we have simply printed the value. This is how we have simply printed any specific value of the array. Now, if I want to change any value or modify any particular value, how we can do that? See, for example, I have already declared this array of color, but now, for example, what I want is that I don't want this pink color here. I want this third color to be white. So how I can do it? I can simply like rewrite the value. I can simply do that. Now I want color of, what will be the index of this pink? What I want, instead of this pink, I want white color. Now what is the index of pink here? 0, 1 and 2. So what I will do, I will just simply rewrite color of 2, color of index 2, this value. Now I want it to be white. Fine. So how I have done it? Simply I have rewritten the value. I have given that now the color of index 2, it should be white. Now after writing this, if I want to check my array again, I can simply print my array color. Let's see what it is giving us. Yes, see, now this is my output, and in the output you can see that this pink is rewritten or updated with the help of this value white. So my initial list was having blue, black and pink, but now my updated array is having blue, black and white. So this is how you can update any value of the array. Fine, simply you have to write your array name and the index of the value that you want to update, and then equal to, you have to write down the new value. As soon as you do this, the original value will be updated by this new value. Simple as that, as shown in this example. Fine. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to find out that what is the length of your array, then how you can find out? Simply with the help of len function. So let's see how we can do that. Simply you have to write print. If I write here print len of color, it will show me the length. See, it is giving me the length 3. So len is the function that you have to remember. What len function will do? It will simply return whenever you pass. You have to write len, then bracket, because len is actually a function. So what you need to do? You have to write len. Then in the bracket you have to write your array name, the array for which you need to find out the length. And as soon as you write len and you pass the array name, it will return the length of this particular array. Fine. So len is the function that can give you the length of your array. Okay. Now, for example, there is a big array. That means you are having one array having multiple values like 10, 15, 100 values. And what you want is you want to print all the values of the array one by one. So how you can do it? Instead of writing print statement for every value, see what happens that inside print here, if I write color of 0, I will get blue, right? See, I will get blue. Similarly, if I want value black, so I have to write color of 1. So it will give me black. Fine. So in this way, here we are having 3 values. But if we are having 100 values, I can write print of color 0, color 1, color 2, color 3 up to color 100. So I will get all the values up to color, like if I am having 100 colors, I have to write color 0 to color 99 for printing all the values. Fine. This is how normal print works. But instead of writing print function so many times, if I simply want to print all the values of array in with the help of using only one print function, how we can do that? We have already studied it with the help of loop, either for loop or while loop. So let's see how we can print all the values of any array with the help of for loop. So the syntax will be very simple. For any variable I, then in, we have to use the operator membership operator in. This in is what you have to remember. This in is nothing but the membership operator. We have already seen in the operators video in detail that what is membership operator. So the syntax is for I is any variable. You can take, instead of I, you can take A, B, C, D or whatever that you like. So for any variable I in, then you have to write your array name, then colon. Then in the next line we can simply print the value of this variable. Now let's run it. See, as you can see in the output, all the 3 values of the array are printed here. So simply what we have done, so in this way, with the help of any for loop and with the help of only one print statement, you can print all the values present in your array. Simple as that. Fine? Okay. So now what are the other operations? Yes. Now see, you are having 3 values in our array. Fine. We are having 3 values in our array. Now what if I want to add any new value to it? So 3 values are already there. For example, if I want to add the 4th value, how I can add it? I can add it with the help of append function. So how the append function works? The syntax is you have to write your array name dot append. Append function will be there, and in the bracket simply you have to pass the value that you want to append in the array. So for example, I want to add a new color purple. Fine. And now let's print our array and let's see if this value is appended or not. Okay. See, as I told again, indentation is very important in Python. If you don't leave indentation when it is needed, it will give error. When you have left indentation when it is not needed, it will also give error. So, like, indentation is really very important in case of Python. Okay, so see, now you can see in the output, our original array was having only 3 values. Then what we have done, we have appended one new value with the help of this syntax, that color dot append, and we have passed the value of the new value, that is purple. Now when we are printing the array again, you can see that in our array now we are having 4 variables or 4 values. So blue, black and pink, these 3 values were already there, and this 4th value is already appended, that we have written here purple. So now the 4th value of my array is purple. Fine. So this is how, for example, you are already having 40 values in any array, and due to some new requirement you have to add 5 more values. So in that case, you don't need to rewrite anything, or you don't need to change in existing system. You just have to write one more line where you can append the 5 more values or whatever new values are there with the help of append function. Fine. So this is how this append function is important. Now as we have appended one new value in this case, similarly we can remove also. In case you want to remove any element from the array, what we can use? We can use dot pop function. Dot append is for what? for appending or adding any new value to our array. Now if you want to remove any value, we have to use pop function. I guess you have already studied about stack, queue. So if you have studied about stack, you must be knowing about the push and pop function. So what happens in the push function? See, PUSH. What happens in the push function? Push is used to add any value, fine, and pop add any value or insert any value. Push is used to add any value or insert any value. And what is pop used for? Pop is a function that is mostly used for deleting any value or removing any value. So similarly, if you want to remove any value from your existing array, you have to use pop function. So how to use pop function? So array name dot pop, and then you have to pass the index of the value that you want to remove. For example, here I want to remove this pink. Now what is the index of this pink? 0, 1, 2. Now if I pass 2 here, and let's print our array again. Let's see what it is returning. See, you can see that now it is returning blue and black only. Initially I was having 3 values, but now in my output I am having only 2 values. Why? Because I have written the command, or I have written the code that color.pop2. That means what? It will simply pop or remove the second index value. And the second index value means 0th index, 1 index and 2 index. Second index is this pink. So pink is removed. Here if I write 1, so what will be removed? Black should be removed. Let's see in the output. Yes, black is removed, and now in the output I am having only blue and pink. Got it? So it is that simple. So this pop function is used to remove any number, any value in our array based on the index. Fine. Similarly, we are having one more function, that is remove function. Remove function is also used to remove any element from the array. So instead of pop, I can use remove also. Fine. Acha, okay. I can use remove also. Now what is the difference between remove and pop? In pop, we have seen that we can remove any element from the array based on the index. But if we talk about remove, in remove, what I should pass as a parameter, I have to pass the value that I want to remove. Now for example, I want to remove blue. Out of blue, black and pink, for example, I want to remove blue from my array. Now let's see what happens here. Blue is removed. So this is the main difference between pop and remove. Okay, so we have seen with the help of example also. If I want to remove this blue, so in case of pop, what can I write? Color.pop, and I have to pass 0 here, because in pop we have to pass the index of the element that we want to remove, but in remove function or remove method we have to pass the whole value that we want to remove. So this is the basically difference between pop and remove. See, these are the small things, but these are very important, especially in interview point of view. Because in interview point of view, they want to see that how your concepts are clear, how much you have practiced. So they will ask these silly but simpler questions to you to make you confused, that if we want, which type of questions they are mostly asking, that if I can remove any value from the array with the help of pop also, with the help of remove also. So what is the requirement of two different methods? What is the basic difference between them? So in that case, you can see this difference, that this is the basic difference between them. See, for example, in any array, if I am having 100 values of any employee, fine. If I am having any small organization, I am having my own company and only 100 employees are working for my company, fine. Now, for example, I am having array. In that array, I have stored the 100 names of 100 employees of my company. Now, for example, tomorrow, any let's say any female worker named Pooja has removed, she has resigned from my company, fine. So I know that, okay, this Pooja, let's say Sharma. So I know that this Pooja Sharma has resigned from my company. Now I simply want to remove her from my array. Let's say I have saved their names in array. Now I want to remove Pooja Sharma from my array. Now in that case, obviously out of 100, I don't remember the index of every employee. So in that case, if I simply want to remove that Pooja Sharma from my array, I can use color.remove Pooja Sharma. In that case, I can't use pop unless and until I know the unless and until I know their respective index. Fine. So in this case, they both are pop and remove. They both are important in their own ways. So it depends on our requirement, that what kind of requirement we are having. Do we want to deal with the indexes, or do we want to pass the value directly? So in those cases, in those differences, as per our requirement, we can use them accordingly. So the basic thing is we should know what they do and what are the differences between them, what are the syntax of each function, so that we can use them accordingly. Alright. So this is what the basic difference between pop and remove is. So similarly we are having, so these are the basic functions that we have seen. We have other functions like clear. For example, if you want to clear the whole, if you simply want to clear the whole array, like now all the values that I am having in my array are useless. I want to clear my array, I want to remove all the elements from my array, and I want to reinsert the array, reinsert the values. So instead of deleting or removing the values one by one, I can simply write color.clear. What it will do, it will simply clear all the elements or all the values from my array named this color. So I can write this array name dot clear function. So let's see what it is doing. I have done color dot clear, and then we are trying to print this color array. Let's see what it is printing. See, as in the example, as in you can see in the output, it is giving us blank array. That means all the values from the array color is being cleared or removed. Fine. So these are some of the basic operations that we can do on array. There are some more operations also. You can simply search them out. You can practice yourself. Fine. So this is basically what is array, and these are the operations that we can do on array. And again, I want to remind you that I have said you in the starting that in the Python inbuilt there is nothing like array. It is not supporting anything like array. So what we are actually doing is we are using list as array, and we can do similar operations in that, and we can use that as array. Fine. So this is all about array. I hope you have understood all the things explained here. In case you have any doubt, you can always ask in the comment section. So keep practicing. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time in the same place with some new topic. Thank you so much.